There are moments in life when we realize how much our parents once protected us, not just physically, but emotionally. As children, their presence felt like a shield, an invisible umbrella keeping us safe from the unknown. But as we grow older, that umbrella slowly fades, and one day we find ourselves standing on our own. Now, the protectors of our own families. Hi, this is Sudip. In this episode, I want to share a personal reflection on that invisible umbrella we all carry in our hearts. It's about love, loss, fear, and the quiet strength that reminds us we are still protected, even when those who once held the umbrella are no longer around. When we are young, we move through life with a quiet certainty that no matter what happens, our parents are there. That sense of security is so subtle yet so powerful. We may not articulate it, but somewhere deep inside we believe we are protected by an invisible umbrella, one that shields us from the harshness of the world. A bad grade, a bruised knee, a fearful night, everything seemed manageable because we knew someone older, wiser, and stronger would step in if needed. As we grow older, that umbrella begins to fade from sight, though its memory stays with us. We learn to stand on our own feet, make our own choices, and face our own fears. There's a quiet pride in realizing I can take care of myself. Yet, as long as our parents are alive, the reassurance lingers. The thought that they are just a phone call away. For me, there was never a single day when I decided consciously to stop calling my parents about my worries. The truth is, I never really shared my worries with them even as a child. I somehow believed that doing so would add to their burden. And as time passed and they grew older, I felt even more strongly that it wasn't right to trouble them with my own struggles. Yet, deep inside, I always longed to hear their voices, the quiet comfort of my father's words, or the reassurance in my mother's tone. I didn't make the call, but I often imagined it. And that imagination itself gives me peace even today. Then life took its natural turn. I got married, became a father, and the circle of life completed itself. The roles had shifted. Now I was supposed to be the protector, the anchor, and the strong one. But the truth is, I often found myself showing my vulnerable side to my spouse and child, the same side I once hid from my parents. Sometimes it made me wonder whether I was failing at being the father figure. But over time, I have come to realize that vulnerability is not weakness, it is honesty. It is the bridge between generations. When my parents passed away, the loss felt deeper than grief. It felt like the sky itself had opened above me. That invisible umbrella was gone. There was no longer anyone I could imagine calling when I felt afraid. That realization was both painful and humbling. But life has a quiet way of teaching us resilience. Slowly I began to understand that the protection I once felt had not truly disappeared. It had simply changed form. These days when fear visits me, and yes, it still does, I turn inward. I practice spirituality. I keep telling myself, I'm good, I'm protected, the divine powers are around me. This simple thought, repeated like a mantra, works as a calming force. It doesn't remove life's challenges, but it gives me courage to face them with grace. It helps me remember that even if my parents are no longer here in body, their love and the larger force they connected me to is still watching over me. And now, as a parent myself, my greatest wish is that my child learns something more, something I perhaps never fully mastered when I was young. At times, my own inner insecurities have surfaced in moments of fear or anxiety, and I have shown that vulnerable side before my child. I often wonder if that makes me appear less strong, but I have come to realize it simply makes me human. Even in those fragile moments, I have learned that what truly holds a family together is not the absence of fear, but the presence of love. It's that love, quiet, forgiving, and unconditional, that helps us return to balance, to calm, to sense of togetherness. When love takes over, everything slowly finds its way back to normalcy. Still, I don't wish my child to inherit this trait from me. I want her to learn how to cope with challenges in her own calm, rational way, to face the storms of life with composure rather than panic, and with faith rather than fear. Strength, I have learned, is not about pretending to be fearless. It's about acknowledging fear and still moving forward with courage. I, as an individual, I am evolving silently each day. When moments of anxiety visit me, I remind myself gently, all is well. Things will work out for the best. And with that quiet belief, I keep walking, one step closer to the version of myself I want my child to remember. So now, when I look up, I no longer feel exposed. I feel connected to my parents, to my child, to my family, and to the vast universe above that continues to hold us all under its boundless, invisible umbrella. As I think about it, growing up doesn't mean losing that childlike sense of safety. It just means learning to hold the umbrella ourselves. The love and protection our parents once gave us now flow through us towards our own families and the world around us. Even in moments of fear or uncertainty, there's always a greater force. Call it the universe, the divine, or simply love quietly watching over us. Thank you for listening. I'm Sudip, and I will be back soon with another reflection from the heart.